Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I want to talk today about cars because we just did a video of should you buy a new car, but I don't think people realize that we are about to witness in the car market exactly what you guys saw with me explaining how lumber was going to collapse in price by midsummer, and I gave you a couple of examples why. Now, it's very interesting. We saw in the last year and a half, the auto industry explode in price. And what was really interesting about it is that you saw the used car market explode. And when you compared it to the new car market, in some cases, like mine, I was going to try and buy a 2-year-old car with about 20,000 miles on it. And we found out that we could buy a brand new car, the exact model, with a little bit more higher quality features on it, for literally the same price. That is absolutely blowing my mind. People go from wanting to buy a used car to save a couple bucks. They get sort of, let's say, trapped with the whole bidding up process of these cars and how these cars kept rising in prices because they were becoming more and more scarce. Why? Because if you went to a new car lot, those prices had already risen because there was no cars on the lot. So these dealers were marking up the price. Well, people went right back to the used car market. That was getting bid up too, but it got bid up so much that people were actually paying more for a used car than they could for a new. So we've obviously seen people lose their minds, just like in the lumber industry, where there are people that raced out to the store to go buy stuff when everything closed down. They had some projects they wanted to do. All of a sudden, they were met with bare shelves. So then the next week, lumber came in and it was a little bit more expensive. They bought it up. Then literally bare shelves. Then the problem just kept getting worse and worse and worse to where people were still, and I was in a Home Depot once and I saw people walking out with a load of 2x4s that they had paid $13 for a 2x4, 8 foot long. Blew my mind, but people were stuck in this thought of it's always gonna be like that. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now it's not. If you're looking to buy a new car, I would wait, and this is why. This isn't financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but I will tell you this. Right now, a few months ago, we saw tons of pictures and videos of fields that were outside of these manufacturing plants. I'll give you an example. Ford is one of them, where there were literally thousands of brand new vehicles out in a field parked really closely. Why? They couldn't ship them because they were missing one of the simplest parts in the vehicle, and that was a chip it was a display chip. Runs anywhere between $1 and $100 a chip, right? But primarily, we're looking at $5 to $10 for these chips that were missing. They couldn't ship the cars. Then they came out with an idea. Hey, let's just ship the cars with the generic chip, and then we'll tell people, come back in 6 months, and we'll do a quick chip swap, and everything will be fine. But by and large, many of those cars were sitting out. Well, now guess what? They're catching up. Chips are starting to be produced. They're starting to get them in. They are now plugging those chips in, getting those brand new vehicles onto semi-trucks, and I'm watching them everywhere. There are semi-trucks going up and down the highways with brand new vehicles. I've seen a lot of people in the comment section talk about this too. What does this mean? This means that in a few months, you are going to see those bare shelved auto dealers that have literally spread out all their vehicles to make it look like they're full, like they're fooling anyone. Going to be completely packed with inventory. And I believe you're going to see auto dealers do exactly the exact same knee-jerk reaction that Home Depot and Lowe's did. And that is, hey, company calls, we got lumber in, oh my gosh, buy it up. And they're gonna buy it up at these high prices. And then they're gonna get caught. It's gonna be one of the greatest traps, I believe, for auto dealers. That they're gonna buy up all this inventory and there's not gonna be enough people to buy the cars. Why? Because they care more about putting food on the plate and gas in that tank. Now, we saw a very similar thing happen to SUVs in the early 2000s, around 2005, when everybody was buying up SUVs before the cost of fuel ran up. And before you knew it, fuel had hit an all-time high nationwide, and these SUVs weren't driving on family vacations anymore. People were scrambling for these little, import gas efficient cars or Priuses when they first came out. I think you're gonna see the next awesome opportunity coming up to go and buy a new car. And I'll be honest with you, the Ninja is ready for a new car. He's ready to spend a little bit of money, and I'm waiting, I'm being patient. And I think that if you're gonna wait until the winter time, I think there's gonna be a lot more deals then than there are now. With that being said, I thank you so much for your time. The Economic Ninja is out.